Perfect.
me.
Perfect.
How are
Great.
you?
I'm good. Thank you. Can you hear me okay?
I can.
Okay.
So I didn't know if it was the weather because it's raining, it's snowing over here again. And so I thought maybe that has something to do with the connection. Where are you again?
I'm in Grand Rapids, West Michigan, in my studio now.
Okay.
I think it snowed overnight, but it's okay now. Actually, for us, it's warm. It's 35.
So you just got back, right, from Florida or someplace, right? You
Indeed.
were on vacation. So you're all ready to. Yes. So you are all ready to tell our viewers the 60-second version of who you are, what you do, and who you serve. So I'll turn it over to you, Miss Laura.
60. Okay. Well, 60 seconds. Well, I'm a dancer. I was practicing and now I lost it. So I'm a dancer. I have been a professional dancer for over 3 decades now. But within my love for movement, I do many other things. So I'm like a movement expert, body mechanics. So I have also attempted into multiple martial arts. And I have been a yoga practitioner, yogini, for over 22 years or so. And so every aspect of the mobility or the love for movement is what I do, whether it's here at the studio teaching or in my performances. I incorporate different elements to it. I have always been a movement lover. Before discovering dance, I used to be an athlete. So I was into track and field, running, and within the world of dance, I have trained in multiple disciplines with contemporary dance, ballet, dance anthropology. So my specialty is Middle Eastern dances. I've studied Bharatanatyam dance, Bhangra, all kinds of.
Fabulous. So you are an expert. So just to let everybody know, you and I met in a Facebook group, and I interviewed Tracy. Remember Tracy, the stylist?
Yep,
I interviewed
absolutely.
last week. We're all from that same group, and I know your love for belly dancing, and I've always wanted to take belly dancing classes. My mother was a dancer. She wanted to be a ballerina, and she unfortunately had an accident and broke her foot or ankle or something, and she kind of gave it up. But she danced all the ballroom dances, and she taught it at Arthur Murray. That's how she met my father. So I remember as a little girl us dancing around the living room, and her telling me about the body, the hand placement and all that. And I loved it. And it was in her soul, and it was in my soul too. Just not professionally, but I just love to get up and dance. And tell us why it's so important for women to never give up dancing or movement, and how important it is, whatever it is, whether it's belly dancing or yoga, we have to keep moving as we get older.
Well, I think there are two aspects of it. Obviously, the benefit of being physically active is obvious. It helps us to have good posture, be healthy. But I think mainly the art of dance by itself is something that will obviously keeps us healthy, strong, flexible. But the emotional aspect, I think, is very important to have that connection with oneself. There is truly nothing, a combination between yoga and dance, that would allow that self-awareness and ongoing development. I do identify it, for example, with myself. When I started doing dance, excuse me, I was 13, and I discovered yoga when I was 21. So on that gap, my persona, my likes and dislikes were evolving. And truly through that movement and the mindfulness of what you do with your body and your breath is going to evolve with you. And I find it that emotionally is that one connection that you have with yourself, and understand that your body is going to always tell you what is it that you need. important to not ignore the aches and pains and the shifts. And by the art of dance is kind of like really loving yourself, is expressing joy, is expressing sadness as well. The language of dance, I always use the quote or the hashtag that dancing is empowering and dancing is transforming. It makes us evolve. So the obvious benefit of the physical aspect is there. But I think people don't realize the magnificent benefit
emotional,
of that connection.
Yeah. And as women, feminine women live in their body. Masculine women live in their head, right? And I always say, to really unleash your inner bombshell, you have to, obviously, it's it's attitude and mindset and all that, but your body language, you have to present yourself as that bombshell. And bombshells move their shoulders. They move their shoulders, they move their hips. And we as women, especially if we stiffen up as we get older, if we don't keep ourselves limber and we're living in our head, we don't move our shoulders, we don't move our hips. We carry a lot of stress in our neck and our shoulders. I do anyway. I always carry my stress here. Some people carry it in their foreheads. Their foreheads are always scrunched up. I don't. I have a very relaxed forehead. I think that's why I don't have the 11s and all those lines in my forehead, but I carry it in my shoulders. So I'm always conscious that I am elongating my neck and releasing the tension in my shoulders. And I took one of your classes a couple of weeks ago online, the beginner's belly dancing class, which was so much fun. And I have to show you something because I bought it off of Amazon.
Oh, you got those. Oh, it's
I
wonderful.
got my belt, my hip belt. So I may have to put it on and do some lives later, some dancing around.
Well, we could do another live and do a little dance together.
But it was so much fun. I always wanted to do belly dancing because it's very sensual. And as I said, we also, I wanted to ask you, I have some questions that I have on my computer. So you call yourself a multidisciplinary artist, but and I already asked you why it's important for women. We have to not stop moving, but also, is it true? I'm not an authority on this, but when you talk about the feminine energy, I had read somewhere that we keep all our wounds and our trauma in the pelvic area, right? That's where that's where we hold it as women, but that's actually where women live, correct? We live in that pelvic area. Is that true? Can you hear me? Did we lose connection?
Well, I think they're different. Yeah, I can hear you. It's just a little broken.
Oh yeah, I see.
But I can hear you.
I think we're.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Maybe.
There's a delay. I guess there's a delay.
But you can hear me? Yeah.
I can hear you. Yes. So,
okay.
Is it true that we as women, the center of us, is in our pelvic area, right? That's where our energy is as the feminine, correct?
Right. Energetically speaking, and like if you look into the yoga philosophy of the placement of the chakras, the first and second chakra are obviously located in the pelvic area, and they are about our foundation, our survival, also creativity. That is part of what makes us women. Obviously, women are meant to give life, but not only that, but our sense of creativity. I think the essence of area, the core of what makes us sensual. And I think it's a combination between what we do on a daily basis, where we abandon that connection. Culturally speaking, we have so many demands to not be connected that way. We allow the external force to eliminate our femininity in a way that we honor it in regular basis, I guess, to be proud of that connection. And one of the beautiful things about dancing is that it keeps constant that connection, and the fact that we should love who we are from head to toe, really. It's fascinating that I find, for example, that if you are at the grocery store and you can maybe touch your hair or cross your arms, but if someone touches the hips, then that's not okay. It's kind of like allowing that external energy, again, social norms, to limit how we move, how we carry ourselves, and the things that we do with our body. So
it's absolutely, yeah, it's very taboo that we as women are even supposed to, like, we're not supposed to be sensual or sexual beings. We are, the patriarchal society says that we're here just to give birth and, make life and be mothers and be here for men's pleasure, really, right? But that's like, but yeah, and we're not used to being sensual or sexual, especially after a certain age. When we're in our 20s and 30s, it's okay. They give us a pass. They allow us.
Correct.
But then, when we're 40s or if we're moms or we're grandmoms, oh, heaven forbid. But the thing is that men actually love to see, first of all, I think there's nothing more beautiful than a woman in movement. When a woman is moving, when a woman takes care of herself and she's healthy, not talking about a size 2 or a size 4 or perfect body, but when she's has that confidence and she is expressing herself in her movement, moving her shoulders, moving her hips. You're drawn to that energy. Both male and females are drawn to that confidence and that sensuality. And men love to witness a woman in movement. And when you see a woman dancing with a partner, whether it's ice skating, ice dancing, or dancing as a couple on the floor, who do you look at? You look at the woman, because the woman in movement is just such a beautiful thing. So, yeah. So you teach belly dancing. Do you do pole dancing? I always wanted to do pole dancing too. Now that's real taboo. Like, oh my God. Do you do pole dancing at your studio?
I don't do pole dancing, but about 2 years ago, I have attempted a class, and I do know that that's not my strength at all, and that's okay. It's not something that calls me. My exploration with movement, actually, I find it more on being on the ground. I personally don't do too good with props, and I also don't do any dance that requires shoes. So I don't feel organically connected to a metal pole. It's not attractive to me. But I have seen amazing women with powerful, just amazing strength, because it does require superpowers to be able to flip your body up there.
Oh, yes, very much. Yes.
But for me, I find the sensuality on moving on the ground. I love rolling on the floor.
Yeah, I'm losing the connection again with you a little bit. So there's a delay.
Okay.
I pretty much can hear you. I've heard you up until now clearly. But yeah, there's something, it must be the weather or something. I don't know. But yeah, pole dancing takes a lot of strength, and it's a really, women think it's, it's a stripper kind of a thing. That's not for me. It's really just another form of exercise, and a sensual exercise. And, you can really get very toned and in shape. No, you don't have to wear the 6-inch stripper heels. I don't like those. I don't even understand why they wear those like humongous shoes. So you can do it barefoot too. But I live just blocks away here in Nutley. There's a very popular ballroom dancing Starlight Dance Studio, and I remember a couple of years ago I called them up and I said, "Do you offer belly dancing classes or pole dancing classes?" And they said, "No, we don't. There's just not enough people asking for them." So it's unfortunate. At least belly dancing. I'm surprised more women don't want to do belly dancing, but we're going to change that more.
Also, there is a misconception on what it is, and I personally here at the studio, I don't call it belly dancing. I call it Oriental dance. But there are so many trends.
I was going to say Middle Eastern. See, I'm half Middle Eastern. Yeah. Yeah.
Me too.
I'm half Middle Eastern. What?
Me too. I have Lebanese.
Oh, Lebanese. Okay, yes. I'm Armenian. My mother was Armenian. So my mother did all that. She did the belly dancing. But I never learned. So anyway. So let me see. So yeah, what when you see women come in, what's the transformation that you see?
I didn't get the first section of the question. What?
When you see women coming into your dance studio for the first time that haven't danced in a long time or ever, what's the transformation that you see in them when they, when they get into it? It must be a big transformation.
Yeah. I think step one is that they follow a desire. They might be introverts, they might be shy, but the fact that they're taking the step to show up to a class is already part of the evolution. Coming in, I think also is putting themselves in a vulnerable position to come to a new place, surrounded by new people, and then when they find themselves making movements that are not their daily moves, it's already a challenge by itself. I would say within 3-4 weeks, if they are consistent, the first thing that I notice is the confidence in just simply walking and smiling and interacting, where they now have that connection of this is a safe space. I like providing that atmosphere where it's friendly, it's welcoming. And when we build that sense of community and supporting each other, it's better than any cattiness and the jealousy. So once a woman comes in for the first time and feels that is a nice community where you become a sister or a dear friend, definitely is the foundation for them to find themselves into a better self. I have a friend that is now my friend that we met here at the studio, and she's 71. And it's been about 6 months that she now has clicked into, although she's been taking my classes for about 5-6 years, it's not until recently that she begins to officially say that enjoys to be sensual and enjoys the fluidity of the movement. And I love the fact that at 71, she's now feeling empowered. She's got the flair with the hair and look in the mirror and not feel fear. So no, I can look at myself and I can accept who I am. That is the kind of thing that I enjoy seeing, and it makes me very excited to realize that I am doing what I'm meant to do, and bring my talent and share my love and passion for dance for others to absorb that energy, and how truly empowering it is. See the transformations, for example, in a younger woman. When I used to teach at a local university, it's easier to kind of have a frame on a semester, right? I'm doing a class from start to end, and see that some of them will be hiding behind their hair or hiding at the end of the group. And by the end of the semester, they enjoy being in front of the mirror. They enjoy actually looking at themselves and not look at the ground. understand the body mechanics in a way that they are absorbing the technique, but they create their own style where it translates into how they carry themselves. Once they love who they are, it also helps in how they interact in a relationship, whether it's friendship or with a lover. Because then once you learn to accept who you are and love yourself, I mean, you don't have to become a professional dancer. You just have to learn who you are and appreciate it. I think that's the key for everything.
Yes. It's not about being a professional dancer or being perfect. It's about having fun, about moving your body, about being in your body, and being comfortable and being sensual. And it's so important for how we walk in heels, right? As women, I see a lot of women, your young girls, they put on heels and they really can't walk in them. You don't know how to walk in them. And their body language, their shoulders are hunched. And, I always have people who know me. I always go back to my love of old Hollywood glamour and the old starlets. These women were trained in everything. They weren't professional dancers, but they had to learn body language and in order to walk across the set in their heels and get in and out of cars gracefully, whatever. So body movement is learning body movement and taking dance classes is so important. So all right, Laura, tell us how women could get in touch with you and where they can take your classes online. How can they do that? How can they? Do you have a website?
My
or
studio
like
is called. Yeah, my website is for the studio for my classes is ourmentality.com. So it's ourmentality, and it's my last name. And in there you could register, and every day there is something different. Interesting that even before COVID, I had been planning on doing a lot of online stuff, and with this pandemic, it just happened to give me the last push, and I enjoy it very much. I think the fact that I can reach out to a larger audience is really exciting to me because I was born and raised in Mexico City, and now I'm able to connect with some of my friends down there, and I have friends. Couple of in Italy and in Canada that have been taking my classes because I'm able to reach further, and it's very exciting. So everything is posted on my Instagram, on Facebook. So Our Mentality is the studio name, but I also have my own page, which is Laura Armenta. And my new website should be done soon. I'm hoping that in 2 weeks, and that will be lauraarmenta.co.co. And everything is in there, descriptions for classes, whether it's yoga, body conditioning, or more dancing, contemporary dance. We have coming up some salsa dancing and Bollywood dance. All kinds of fun stuff.
I saw something where you posted a sensual dance class or something like that. You just posted.
Yeah, that is a workshop, and today that's happening at 5:30.
Okay. So what does that entail? I was drawn to the word sensual. I was like, what is that?
Right. Well,
what is that? Is that like the...
what I do is create a little choreography. Usually choose one song that within the lyrics, it gives that essence of being sensual. And it's a combination, technically speaking, would be a combination between a little bit of belly dancing, a little bit of jazz, and contemporary. So it's my own fusion with the focus, obviously, on being sensual. And I like to emphasize, for me, that sensuality not necessarily means sexual. Definitely for me, it's an artistic approach that is not vulgar. And I like to be empowering in a way that sensual means using your senses.
Mm-hmm. Okay, got it. Yeah, there are a lot of times when women hear the word sensual, they automatically think it means sexual, but it actually is two different things. You can be very sensual and not sexual in any manner. So it is two different things. So yeah, I thought that it would be difficult when I took that class. I had never done anything like that online, and I know, I even myself had to pivot in this COVID era of teaching my
Yeah.
makeup classes online, teaching one-on-one online as opposed to somebody coming in person, which that is obviously the ideal way to do it because you want to, touch people's faces,
Right.
etc. But we have to learn another way. So when I had done your class, I thought it might be, but it was, I did it on my computer, not on the phone, obviously on the computer. So I had a larger screen, and it
Right.
was really very, very clear and easy to see you. And you guided, you did it slowly and explained, and so yeah, it was a positive experience.
I'm
So
good at what I do.
all right, Miss Laura. So all right, so I'm gonna put on my hip belt later. Maybe
All
post it
right,
on
good.
Facebook.
Yeah, maybe join
So
another class, or we could do it live together to dance.
it sounds like fun. It sounds like a plan. All right, I'm going to let you go. This was fun. I don't want to keep you. I want to keep them to about 30 minutes. And I think the computer froze again. I
Oh, there.
see you
I'm
frozen. Can you
moving to
hear me
see it.
still?
Yeah, I
Okay.
can hear you.
I
You're
don't
back.
know. So hopefully the viewers, it wasn't too frustrating to, I don't know how this will play out. Hopefully people will be able to have, hear and see us both
Yeah, we'll
clearly.
see.
I'm going to post it. All right.
Okay.
Laura, it was
Well,
fun.
thank you. No, thank you. Thank you.
You're very welcome. I'll see you on Facebook.